People have been living in Australia for, well, some of you know better than I do. 30, some say up to 50,000 years before the last ice age. To give you a comparison, people have been living in the Columbia Basin for, about the last 10,000 years continuously. In southeast Alaska, maybe 15,000 years. But I'm terrible at these kind of numbers. But just a rough comparison. Figured a random journal works well. Well, since it's hard to find something to talk about that's continuous. Well, on writing, I've been writing letters to relatives for 30 years. Started, to my great-grandmother and great-uncles and aunts, mostly. And, of course, grandparents. And then my 7th grade English teacher had all of us do 10 minutes of whatever we wanted to do. And I mostly doodled, but I must have done some writing because he put about a dozen of us into a creative writing class. That was taught by Dan Henry, who happened to be our neighbor, meaning in the cabin that was through the woods. I mean, we could see his light, his propane lamp from. We could see if he was home if we were going to our outhouse, basically. And I rigged his outhouse with firecracker, which he was expecting at some point, and a speaker that said, "Hey, I am working down here," and alternated with, "Move over, you're blocking the light." And we had it in our outhouse, and we had windows that looked out. We could see our city slicker friend just run out of there. Barely, well, yeah. Doesn't work so well in the city, though. Outhouse is very effective, especially if you got a double barrel, 55-gallon drum. I don't even know what's in this magazine yet, but it's better than just, I don't know what. But, yeah, Bonnie likes passing these out on the bus. Keeps some people quiet, I guess, and that's great. So, also keeps my uncle quiet, so it makes my aunt happy. But I got a whole stack of magazines for him, so, well, I usually just pass through it and find one article maybe that I pretend to read or put in the pile to throw out later. Anyways, and then writing actually, and then I would write journals and had pen pals, mainly Michelle in Australia, who I met in person, and then wrote letters to regularly, and Dion in Sitka, and one in Skagway, and one in Fiji, and still usually my great grandparents and aunts and uncles regularly. Usually computer journals that I would clip out of and cut and paste and so on.